everyone, I'm going to take a look at some of the new players that have been released today as part of the 777 downloads campaign on eFootball. I'll look first at the Robert Pirès pack. We've got a pack with Robert Pirès and 10 Player of the Week cards in there. And then I'll also take a look at these 3 free players that we're getting. We're getting De Bruyne, Ronaldo and Son. So as always, I'll put timestamps in the description. If there's a particular player you want to hear about, click the description. There'll be a link to take you straight to them. And let's have a look first at the Robert Pirès pack. So this pack will cost you 777 coins. That's obviously the theme. That's not too expensive for a pack. And what we get in there is we get our epic Pirès card. And then we get 10 Player of the Week cards as well. It's interesting that they've not done that before. I think that's pretty interesting looking. It looks like it could be pretty good value. So we'll start by having a look at Pirès. It is an epic card. It's got a booster as well. As you see, he's got agility +2. So let's have a look. We'll go on eFootball Hub and we'll see how we can train him. So the first thing to note on eFootball Hub, we hit our game plan boost here. But then when we hit the booster, they've changed it on eFootball Hub. You have to then manually select which booster they've got. In this case, we've got agility +2. So just keep that in mind when you're on eFootball Hub. If you go on eFootball Hub, you're training players, you don't just click the booster, you have to select which specific booster the player's got as well. But with Pirès, with everything activated, fully boosted, this is what we got, and he's pretty damn good, as you can see from the numbers here. Whether that's exactly right or not, he's going to be there or thereabouts. 102 as a left winger. This is a very, very good card. He's obviously very good on the ball. We've got great attacking awareness for a wide man. The passing is good as well. Finishing is pretty good. He's got really good pace. Decent balance, decent kicking power, great stamina as well. This is a good card. I've had a look in game. The skills are correct. So we've got double touch, then we've got long range drive, chip shot control, long range shooting, first time shot, one touch pass, through passing, weighted pass, pinpoint crossing, outside curler. We've got a great selection of skills here for end product. For the dribblers, it's maybe not so much. I think if you're a real dribbler, you like your skill moves. I think if you do get this guy, you're probably going to want to put skill moves on him, whatever skill moves you want to put on him, like soul control, flip flap, whatever else, Marseille turn maybe. But certainly in terms of end product, he's already really well stocked there. In terms of the way his points have been allocated, I don't think I'll do a great deal if I'm perfectly honest. I think as a left winger, he's obviously right-footed, he's an inverted winger, creative playmaker. I don't think you really need to do much, you know. He's got good passing, he's good on the ball, he's got the pace, he's got pretty much everything he needs. I mean, there's 1 point on defending that. That's a bit of a waste, but if you take that point away, where are you going to put it? You'd need 3 points to increase any of these. You could maybe take a couple away from shooting, put them somewhere else, but then you don't want to get that finishing game below 80, really. I think, to be honest, I would just take that 1 spare point from defending and just put it on aerial. I think that's all I'd really do. I think the auto allocation is good. One thing to keep in mind with this guy, we have been getting quite a few position trainers lately. You could position train this guy to be a right winger. He's got decent crossing, not amazing crossing, but decent. 84 lofted, 81 curl, 85 kicking power. He's got pinpoint crossing. He could be a pretty nice right winger if you wanted to position train him. So that's something to keep in mind. If you're going to use him as a winger, if you're going to cross it more, you might want to put a bit more on his passing. If you wanted to do that, you could take the 2. We've got 2 on aerial there. Take those 2 away. Take those 3 from finishing. That gives us 5. Where could we nick a couple of points? You can hit one of dribbling, actually. Yeah, you could maybe do that. I mean, as a winger, if you position trainers play on the right, whipping crosses in, getting that lofted up to 86 is not a big increase. You could do that, but you get the low pass up to 90 as well. You sacrifice a little bit from your dribbling, but you might want to do that possibly. You lose a couple of your finishing. You could also position train him as an attack midfielder. Keep that in mind. It would take you 2 position trainers, well, at least 2 position trainers. Obviously, in my case, it would take about 30, knowing my luck. But this guy could be a really nice attack midfielder. If you did position train to play attack midfield, because that is adjacent to his registered position, which means you can get attacking mid or centre mid or defensive mid. Wouldn't recommend getting either of those, but if you got attacking mid on him, I think he could be really nice in that position. Again, he's got great pace, more pace than he needs as an attacking mid, to be honest. You could take some of the points away from there, to be honest, if you made him an attacking midfielder, but just the way I've tweaked his points there to make his crossing a bit better. Getting his low pass up to 90. Still really nice on the ball. Great attacking awareness. Still decent enough finishing. Good pace. In fact, if we took a few off lower body there, we can afford to do that. Couple on his passing. And then we can get his finishing past 80 again. Yeah, if you position train this guy as an attacking midfielder, I would probably do something like that. So then he's still got really good pace in that position. Decent balance. A great stamina still. Still really nice on the ball. Getting that low pass up to 92 though. and finishing's over 80, great attacking awareness. He could be really, really nice in attacking midfielder. Creative playmaker playing style will be active there as well. You could train him that way for left mid as well. Like I say, that really beefs his passing out, gives him a bit more end product. But even if you went with the auto allocation as a left midfielder, I think he's really, really nice. It's a really good card. If you're a fan of Pirès, an Arsenal fan, or maybe if you're young, you're not too familiar with this guy, he's really good. Looking at his attributes, whichever way you train him, I don't think you need to do a great deal for any position. I think, like I say, it could be well worth position training him for right midfield, and especially for attacking midfield. But whatever you do with him, if you do get this guy, I think it's a really, really strong card. So that's Pirès, that's your legend card out of the pack, but we've got 10 other cards in the pack. We're going to have a look at each of those. We're going to start with Bernardo Silva. So Bernardo Silva, this is one of the better versions of him that we've had. There was a Showtime version not too long ago, which was a bit better than this one, but outside of that, this is certainly one of the better ones we've had. It's interesting, especially because this is a box-to-box version. It's down as defensive midfielder. He doesn't usually have that position, and I'm pretty sure every other version of Bernardo Silva we've had has been a creative playmaker as well. So this is quite a unique one as a box-to-box, and like I say, it's a very good one. He's got unwavering form as well. He's fantastic on the ball. He's got nice passing. Your game plan boost is going to take low pass over 90. The finishing's decent. Attacking awareness is good. He's got a bit of defensive ability. He doesn't always have that much defensive ability. So that's an interesting one. You can get away with in defensive mid, but the defensive engagement will still be very bad though. So you're going to need at least one other midfielder behind him doing the defensive work, but you can certainly put his foot in and do his defensive work. It's not the quickest. That's always one of the drawbacks of Bernardo Silva. Certainly if you're going to play him wide right, you're probably going to notice that lack of pace. I'm not sure he's quick enough to play wide right. Physical contact, that's had a bit of a boost as well. He doesn't normally have that much physical contact, I don't think. Good balance, good stamina. We look at the skills. Long range curler, long range shooting, one touch pass, through passing. Doesn't always have one touch pass. They've added that for this card. So that's another thing that's good about this card. So he's got one touch pass along with through passing, pinpoint crossing, outside curler, low lofted pass. He's got a great section of skills. Really good end product, this guy. As a box-to-box, that playstyle will be active defensive mid and centre mid. It won't be active as an attacking midfielder. That's probably a good thing because I don't think you'd want to be tracking back too much from attacking midfield. But yeah, all in all, this is a good card. This is a good version of Bernardo Silva. Like I say, with one touch pass, with the box-to-box playing style, the fact he's got defensive midfield and a bit of defensive ability, he's a bit different to most versions of Bernardo Silva that we've had. So if you've not got a good version of him, this could be a really nice one to pick up. I think this is a pretty good card, this one. Then we have Kulusevski. I love Kulusevski in this game. I think he's great. Got a roaming flank version. I'm pretty sure that's his normal playing style. You can play him wide right, you can play through the middles and attack middle on SS. So he's either a right winger or he's a kind of number 10. Whichever way you use him, I think he's well suited to all those positions. I think it's a good card. Only standard form. It's got pretty good pace. Physical contact is decent for an attacking player, for a kind of winger or a number 10. Balance is not brilliant, but it could be worse. Likewise stamina, but he's very nice on the ball. Passing's decent, finishing's pretty decent. The attack awareness for me is a little bit of a letdown. I've got a version of him which has higher attacking awareness. I've got a trainable one. There've been a couple of trainable versions of Kulusevski that go to a higher rating than this one, so this isn't the best we've had, but it's still a good one. With the skills, a few skill moves, soul control is nice, then long range curler, long range shooting, one touch pass, through passing, outside curler is a nice one as well. It's got end product, he's nice on the ball, decent pace, mobility. Like I say, I always like this guy on eFootball. He always feels really nice to me, so yeah, I don't think he's an elite level card. I think that attacking awareness for me is the one letdown, really. I'd like a bit more balance as well, but it's still a very nice card for me. I think it's a pretty good one to pick up. Now we have a fullback finisher version of Andy Robertson. So that's the one thing that's really interesting about this version of Robertson, because he's normally an attacking fullback, but it's a good version. Pretty decent pace, a bit of physical contact. Balance is a bit disappointing. Fantastic stamina. Defensively is fairly strong. I'd like the defensive awareness to be a bit higher, but he's already overrated for the rest. So I think on the whole, he's pretty strong there defensively. On the ball, I'd like it to be a little bit better. I'd like the ball control and tight possession to be able to hit 80 with the game plan boost, but he's not too far off. Low pass is a bit iffy at 74. Lofted pass is great though at 90. That will hit 90 with the game plan boost. So he's going to have really nice crossing. The curl is going past 80 as well with the game plan boost. So he's got a cross on him. He's certainly got an engine as well. Unwavering form. When we look at the skills, first time shot I'm pretty sure was added on this card. One touch pass. My cursor's playing up. One touch pass, weighted pass, pinpoint crossing, and defensively man marking, interception, starting tackle, acrobatic clearance. Got captaincy and fighting spirit as well. He's got a great section of skills for a fullback. So yeah, not the highest rated version of Robertson that we've had. We've had a few trainable ones that go higher than this. So It's not the best version of Robertson, but fullback finisher makes him a little bit different. And it's still a good version of Robertson, so it's another good card in this pack, to be honest. And now we've got an Ollie Watkins card. So this one, to be honest, this isn't the best version of Watkins. The one thing that stands out for me on this card is attacking awareness at 81 is not great. That's really not as good as I'd want it to be. I'd want attacking awareness to be at least mid-80s on a 5-star striker, ideally up into the high 80s, so you can hit 90 with the game plan boost, but 81 is not great. He could be worse than the ball, but he's not brilliant. Passing isn't too bad. Finishing is good. That'll hit 90 with the game plan boost. The speed's going to hit 90 with the game plan boost. He's got pretty good pace, good jumping. He's also got aerial superiority, but he doesn't have heading. They don't always give Ollie Watkins first time shot, but he does have it this time, which is good. But yeah, without heading, acrobatic finishing, a bit more attacking awareness, this for me, it's not the best version of Watkins. Yes, it's still a decent card, but it's not a major one for me. It's not one I'll be getting too excited about. Now our second Tottenham card from this pack. So Pedro Porro, not the best version we've had again. We've had one from one of those legend boxes that went to about 95, I think. So it's not the best version of him that we've had. He's an okay card, but the first thing you're looking at as a fullback, defensively not brilliant. On the ball, yeah, he's tidy enough. With his passing, yeah, especially with his crossing at 86, he does have pinpoint crossing, so he's got a pretty good cross on him. Got pretty good pace. Physical contact's decent. Balance isn't the best. Stamina's great. So yeah, balance a bit iffy. Defensive a little bit iffy. As a fullback, as a very attacking fullback, yes, he's pretty good. But if you're like a more defensive fullback and you want to focus primarily on the defending ability of your fullbacks, then I don't think he's really going to be for you. As a right winger, I don't think he's got enough technically, really. Yes, he can cross. He's got good pace, but I like a bit more technically from a winger. Unwavering form is nice. And in terms of the skills, he's got his face scan, of course, before I forget. Yeah, long way shooting, one-touch pass, through passing, weighted pass, pinpoint crossing, low-lofted pass. He's got some good end product going forward, especially with the crossing. He's got going to have a pretty nice cross on him, and defensively, man marking, interception, sliding tackle. So, yeah, if you like fullbacks to be defensively strong, he's probably not going to be for you. But as an attacking fullback, you want to focus on getting forward and helping your winger out. He could be a pretty decent one to pick up. And this is a good card. So this isn't the best Rodrygo we've had, but it's still a good one. The first thing I would say about this card, he's a deep line forward. It's personal preference, but I don't like that playing style on a centre forward. I'm not a fan of it. But for me personally, I wouldn't use him there. As a centre forward, outside the playing style, which is a personal preference, his attacking awareness at 82, again, it's like Ollie Watkins. It's not high enough for me. On a 5-star centre forward, I want quite a lot more on attacking awareness. He's fantastic on the ball for a striker, though. The passing is decent for a striker. The finishing is going past 90. Great pace, great balance. Loads of qualities as a centre forward. It's just the attacking awareness is a bit low for me, and I don't like that playing style. But you can play this guy as a wide forward, and as a right footer playing on the left especially, I think he's fantastic in that position. I've got a very similar version of him to this. It's the same playing style, so I've used mine as a wide left forward with no playing style active, and he's been great. You got the pace, you got great ability on the ball, good attacking awareness for a wide man. The passing is decent enough as a wide man. Finishing's fantastic playing out wide as an inverted winger, coming in from the left flank onto his right foot, going past 90 with the game plan boost on finishing. When you look at the skills, he's got a few skill moves, double touch, flip flat, soul control, so he's got that ball roll, double touch, whatever you call it. Long range curl, that's a crucial one. Acrobatic finishing, first time shot, one touch pass, through passing, super sub as well. Really neat card for me playing wide left. Yes, you could use him as a striker, but for me, to get the most out of this guy, I think playing wide left with the ability he's got, the pace on the ball, with his finishing and the skill set he's got, especially as a super sub. He's one of my favourite super subs. I've got two versions of him. They're both deadly when you bring him off the bench. I think it might not be the best version of Rodrygo we've had, but it's still a pretty good one. So if you've not got a good version of Rodrygo, I reckon you might be pretty happy with this guy. Now we have an interesting one, Oyarzabal. So this guy, normally a creative playmaker, but this is the one version of him we've had with a different playing style. This is a whole player version of Oyarzabal. He's always versatile. He's got the same positions he pretty much always has. You can play him down the left. You can play him as a forward on the right-hand side. You can have him as a number 10 or an attacking midfielder SS. Or you can play him as a centre forward. I don't think he's got the attacking awareness. Again, it's a third player in his pack where he can play centre forward, but I don't think he's got the attacking awareness to do that or the finishing. But in pretty much every other position, I think he's pretty neat. It's not the best version we've had. We've had a few versions that go higher than this, including some trainable ones. These are player of the week cards, so they're not trainable. But what I would say is if you don't have a version of this guy, with the whole player playing style being active left midfield, attack mid or SS, I think it could be a neat one to pick up. He doesn't really excel anywhere. Yes, his dribbling is going to go past 90 with the game plan boost, but outside of that, the stats are just kind of decent, not amazing, but he's not far off the other versions of him. He's not far off the version of him that I've got. I'd be pretty happy if I got this version just for the playing style. But like I say, you can use him in most of these positions. Tidy on the ball, decent passing, finishing is going past 80 with the game plan boost, attacking rounds is decent. That goes well with his whole player playing style. Not the quickest, he's never got electric pace, but he's not slow either. Kicking power is just about okay, balance is okay. It's a decent card, not an amazing one. He's got end product, one touch pass and through passing. He's got pinpoint crossing as well if you play him on the left. Long range shooting. He's got soul control and hill trick, nice ones to have. He's a super sub as well. I don't think he's always a super sub, so that's something to keep in mind. So yeah, a useful one. He's versatile. He's got a different playing style to what he normally does. Super sub. He's got good end product, unwavering form as well. Not an elite level card by any means, but I think it's a pretty useful one. If you like Oyarzabal with this playing style, it's a version of him that I think is pretty interesting. So it's a decent card for me on the whole. Now we have a centre-back in Pau Torres, and this is a nice looking card in almost every area. So the defensive attributes, he's going past 90 on the three most important ones with your game plan boost. Down the left, the ball control is already over 70, low enough to pass likewise, so he's got some good technical ability for a centre-back. The pace is decent for a centre-back. Again, speed's going past 80 with your game plan boost. Down here, the stamina's decent, but this is where the problem is. The jumping and physical, he's just a bit lacking in his physical and aerial strength. It's a real shame because that lets him down, because apart from those two attributes, he's a really, really nice looking centre-back. He's got the build-up playing style, left-footed, he's a big, tall guy, unwavering form. He's got pretty much every skill you need in a centre-back. I think he's got the complete set: interception, man marking, blocker, sliding tackle, right clearance, aerial superiority, heading. Yeah, and weighted pass as a bonus. So he's got all the skills he wants. He's got good defensive ability. He's decent down the left-hand side, decent pace. He's good everywhere. It's just that jumping and physical. If you don't mind that, then he could be a really nice card for you to pick up. Just for me personally, in the air, yes, he's tall, he's got aerial superiority, but 79 for jumping is a little bit on the low side for me. And physical contact is a very important attribute for a centre-back, and that for me is too low. So it's not disastrous. He's still a good card on the whole, but if those two attributes are better, he could be a really, really fantastic card. So a bit of a letdown there, but outside of those two attributes, it is still a pretty good card on the whole. And then we have another centre-back. So we got Bremer from Juventus. We got a destroyer this time. And really the only attribute here I've got any major issue with is the defensive engagement being a little bit low. Especially on a destroyer, you don't want that engagement to be low. You don't want to get caught out of position. But outside of that, the aggression is going to go past 90 with the game plan boost. He's already hitting the 90 mark on awareness and tackling. Low pass is going to get to 70 with the game plan boost. Speed's going to hit 80 with the game plan boost. Jumping 82, he's 6'2". He does have aerial superiority, so could be worse in the air. But again, like with Pau Torres, I'd like a bit more on that jumping, even though he's got a decent height and aerial superiority. I would like a bit more on the jumping, but physical contact is great, already at 90 before the game plan boost. So yeah, unwavering form again. In terms of his skills, I think the only one he's lacking really is blocker, so that's a little bit of a shame. He could do with having blocker there. Got pretty much everything else he needs though, and yeah, it's another card where there's one or two things you know, you'd like the jumping to be a little bit higher, I'd like the engagement to be a bit higher, I'd like him to have blocker, but outside of that, good physically strong destroyer. So yeah, again, not an elite card. I'd like one or two things to be better, but on the whole, still a pretty good centre back. And then we finish up with our goalie. We've got Martínez, and this is a good version of Martínez. When you get your game plan boost on this guy, if you've got an 88 rated manager, awareness, catching, reflexes, reach, all going over 90. Parring's the only real letdown. It's a bit of a shame that's a bit low. It'll go past 80 with the game plan boost, but it's still a little bit low though. But I think you can allow him that, given the other four goalie attributes are all going up to 90 plus with the game plan boost. So this is a really, really good goalkeeper for me. Yes, he's a player of the week goalkeeper, so he can't jump to save his life. Maybe Konami will stop doing that one day. Maybe they won't. Skill set. I don't think he normally has low punt, so that's good. They've added low punt. Got long throw, penalty save as well. Yeah, it's a shame he can't jump. You expect that on the player of the week cards because that's what Konami do for no logical reason whatsoever. His parrying is a little bit dodgy, but outside of that, like I say, awareness, catching, reflexes, reach, all going 90 plus your game plan boost. It's a good, strong goalkeeper. And he's 6'5" as well. So 90 reach before the game plan boost. 6'5", and those other attributes, yeah. This is a really good goalie card, this one. So, that's your Robert Pirès pack. I think this pack for the majority of the player base represents really good value. The way you got to look at the pack with a legend card in it is that if he was in one of these 150 player packs and you wanted to get him, how many spins would it take you to get him? How many coins would it cost you? It could cost you, it could take 150 spins. There's times when people have to spend literally 140 to 150 times to get a player. This pack is only 777 coins, and you're getting what I think is a very good legend card. Good as a left winger, could be position trained to be a really nice attacking midfielder or right winger as well. I think it's a really good card, and for 777 coins, Pirès alone I think is good value. You also get 10 player of the week cards. Most of them aren't the best version of the respective players that they've been, but they're still good cards. I think Bernardo Silva is a really nice looking one. Kulu I like a lot. He's a nice card. Watkins is probably the worst in the pack for me, but he's still not bad. Robertson's a pretty good left back. Porro, if you like a very attacking right back, he's a decent one. Rodrygo, if you've not already got a good version of Rodrygo, really nice card, and it can be an absolutely deadly super sub. Oyarzabal, useful one. I like him in the game. Pau Torres and Bremer both got one or two attributes, one or two areas where I'd like them to be a bit stronger, but still pretty good cards on the whole as centre backs. And then I think Martínez is a really nice goalkeeper card. So yeah, on the whole for me, I think for most people this pack for 777 coins, really good value, and I really hope they do more packs like this in the future because like I say, it's good value. I'm not personally a fan of Pirès, so it's not one I'm going to be picking up, but I think for most people, yeah, really good pack this one. Very nice. So that's the Pirès pack. Let's have a look now at the free players, because we've got 3 players we're getting for free as part of this 777 campaign. So in here we've got Ronaldo, De Bruyne and Son. Let's have a look first at Ronaldo. So as I mentioned already, on eFootball Hub at the moment, when you're doing the boost, you've got to hit the booster button and then you select which booster he's got. This card doesn't have a booster, so on cards that don't have a booster, it still lets you click that button, but just don't be confused by that. Just ignore it. If the player doesn't have a booster, don't click it. We just hit the game plan boost and it will max him out. This is what we're working with. So he's going up to 95 before the game plan boost, and on that basis, we've had a whole bunch of versions of Ronaldo previously that are better than this one. Obviously, there's one in that bullet header pack at the moment that's better, in that kind of pay-to-win, Showtime, whatever you call it, box. But if you don't have a good version of Ronaldo, that's when this could be an interesting card for you. I think for a lot of us, including any of us who got the one from the penalty game, that one is slightly better than this one as well, but this one isn't far off, and it's still a good version of him. So if you do want a good version of Ronaldo, it's a pretty good card. Would I do much with the way his points are allocated? I think there's 2 ways you can do him, really. I think the first way you'd look at him is you would ignore the physical stuff. If you're not going to be putting crosses into the box, you're not bothered about the aerial ability, probably just nick those points from aerial. And I think the obvious thing to do is just nudge his shooting up to the 90 mark. Balance at 80, I think most versions of Ronaldo for me, maybe some of the higher rated ones, his balance goes over 80, but I've seen a couple of versions of Ronaldo, I've had a couple of versions of Ronaldo where the balance doesn't hit 80. So pretty decent balance it seems to me on this version. Would I change anything else? I think, to be honest, probably not. This is with nothing on his aerial, so we focus mainly on the physicals. He's still not the quickest. Obviously, he's about 40 years old. 38 years old, my bad. But his pace isn't too bad, though, on the goal poacher. I always say on the goal poacher, I like pace. You've got to make the most of that playing style, because a goal poacher is going to be running in behind the defence a lot, looking for those through balls. So not got quite as much pace as I'd like, but it's not too bad. Kicking power is very nice, almost hitting the 90 marks. It's a shame he doesn't quite hit it. The balance, like I say, is decent for Ronaldo. On the ball, tidy enough. He's not the dribbler he used to be, obviously. Passing could be worse. I always aim to at least hit the 70 mark on low pass for a striker. And as you saw, with nudges finishing up to the 90 mark. We've got a point left over, actually. I'm going to stick that 1 point on aerial. Gets heading up to 80. But yeah, finishing 90, attacking rate is 96. Like I say, this is not the best version of Ronaldo that we've had, but it's still a good one. So if you want a good version of him, I think the way he's trained here, very nice. Just we could do with a bit more pace as a goal poacher. But if you wanted to make him a more physical build, try and focus on his aerial ability, put some crosses in for him. What could you do? I'll take a bit of dexterity away. I don't really want to go below 90 attacking awareness. It's a shame we go below 80 for balance, but it is what it is. I've got to free some points up, make him an aerial beast. How high can we get his aerials? Oh, almost got 80 for physical contact. We need 1 more point from somewhere. Where are we going to nick that point from? We'll nick it from lower body. Just do that. Yeah, I'd probably do that. So if you want a version of Ronaldo where you want to put some crosses in for him, make use of his aerial ability, good training like that. So as that type of striker, again, you know, on a goal poacher, you'd like a bit more pace, but if we're focusing on the aerial ability, we'll have to make a sacrifice. He's still at least hitting the 80 mark on speed and acceleration. Kicking power still good at 88, but now the jumping's up to 92. Physical contact is up to 80. His heading hits the 90 mark, and we've still got the 90 finishing and 90 attacking awareness. He's still not too bad on the ball. That could work pretty well. You want to put crosses in if that's the way you play. It could be a very effective one for you. So, like I say, whether you build him like this and focus on the aerial ability, or whether you go with something closer to the auto allocation, try and focus more on the mobility and just getting him in behind the defense and getting shooting opportunities. It's by no means the best version of Ronaldo we've had. We've had a bunch of high rated versions, but it's still a good version of him. So for a freebie, it's not bad, to be honest. So next up, we'll take a look at Kevin De Bruyne. So we'll max him out, get him boosted. And again, it's a good version of him, but not the best version. We've had quite a few around 96, 97. There's, I think, at least one player of the week with a booster that made it a bit better than this one when he's in A form. It's been a Showtime as well. So, yeah, we've had a few versions that are a bit better than this, but it's still a good version of De Bruyne. I don't think I'd do a great deal with the way the points have been allocated. The one concern some people might have, it's one thing with De Bruyne, that's the kind of the one drawback really with him. He's not the quickest. If you don't mind the lack of pace, then that might not be a problem for you at all. In terms of the point allocation, I think I'll just do 2 builds on him. I'll do one where if you don't mind the lack of pace, you want to focus on the end product. Would I do anything, to be honest, if we were doing that? Maybe nudge one away from there. I want to get that finishing up to the 80 mark, you see. Where could we nick some points? Take one off there. Then we get finishing to 80. Got 2 points left. Just stick one shooting, do we? In fact, no. We'll nudge his physical contact up to 70. 71. Yeah, I'll just nudge a couple of points around. I'll do that. If you don't mind the lack of pace, then still 80 acceleration. Get the kicking power to 9, still at 90. Physical contact goes past 70. Still tidy on the ball there. You don't need to dribble so much. If you're not bothered about the pace so much, then I don't think dribbling is going to be too important to you. But we've got the ball control to 93. Tight possession at 90 still. Then the low and lofted pass 95. But we've got his finishing up to the 80 mark. Pretty decent at set pieces. He's not too far removed from the auto allocation this way, but that's how I'd probably do him if I was going to focus on the end product in that attacking midfield position. I think it's a very, very nice card. But if you do like a bit more pace on attacking midfielders, then what can we do then? We'll sacrifice a bit of his finishing. It's still okay at 75. We could lose a bunch of his passing. We'll leave it at the 90 mark on low and lofted. But we've freed up a bunch of points doing that. Sacrifice the aerial, so now we've got 17 points to play with. Where does that get us? Gets us to the 80 mark. Lovely. We've got 2 points spare. Where do we put those? Stick on shooting, maybe. Yeah, so if you want a bit more pace, a bit more mobility on him, you could do that. So there you can see you can get his speed up to the 80 mark. Kicking power goes up with it. That goes up to 97 kicking power. Bunch of 90 plus down the left still. The passing isn't as good, but still at 90 low and lofted. So just an option for you. He's the same on the ball, same attacking awareness, but a bit less passing. We've got a bit more pace about him. I think it's a good version of De Bruyne, to be honest. I think, again, it's obviously not the best version card. You're going to find with the cards they give us for free, they're never going to be the best version of any player. That wouldn't make sense for them, so I don't think we can really complain. I do think this is still a good version of De Bruyne. He's still not got rapid pace. If you really want a player who's quick and he's an amazing dribbler, he's probably not going to be for you, but it's De Bruyne at the end of the day. You know what you're getting from him. He's got end product. He's technically fantastic. In terms of the skills, it's what you expect as always. You know, soul control, long range shooting, one touch pass, through passing, weighted, low lofted down there. He's got pinpoint crossing as well. Outside curl is nice. It's just a good version of De Bruyne, to be honest. So yeah, if you're lucky enough to have the Showtime version, or there's one from one of those legend boxes as well, and one or two of the Player of the Week ones I think about as well. In those cases, you wouldn't need this one, but otherwise, it's a good version of De Bruyne. I think it's a good card, especially as a freebie. And we finish up with Son. So again, we've had a bunch of versions of Son that are higher rated than this one, but it's still a good version of him. It's the same case as De Bruyne and Ronaldo, really. If you've got a better version, obviously you're not going to really need this one, but if you don't already have a better version of him, or if you don't have a special version of Son already, it could be a really nice one to pick up. It's a roaming flank. He's not always a roaming flank. We've had goal poacher versions, we've had prolific winger versions. This one's a roaming flank. That will be an active playing style, left midfield and left wing forward. You can play him as a centre forward. He will not have an active playing style there. So we'll max him out again. We'll basically build in two ways. I think playing in wide left, he's down as wide left. That's his registered position. So the auto allocation is going for that. I wouldn't really change too much, to be honest. He's got really nice pace. He's pretty good on the ball. He's got fantastic attacking awareness for a wide man. The passing isn't brilliant, but it could be worse. Finishing is good though, 83. Good stamina. I would like a bit more balance on him. That's a slight disappointment. Good kicking power though. That does make a difference, especially with the finishing. We've done the skills, few skill moves. Then we've got long range drive. That's a really important one as playing as a right foot on the left, coming inside onto his right foot, especially with decent finishing, good kicking power, good curl as well. So he's going to have a very nice long range curler. Long range shooting, acrobatic finishing, first time shot. So yeah, he wants to come inside and shoot, basically playing wide off the left flank. With his passing not being better, if you get this guy and if you put skills on him, I think one touch pass and through passing would be a must. But for what he's good at, cutting in onto his right foot with the pace, kicking power, good on the ball, really nice long range curler on him, could be very effective. And like I say, I don't think I'd really change much of the way the points are allocated, to be honest. You see again, we've got that one random point. It's on defending. Could we really put that anywhere though? I'd probably just nick one off passing and not just shooting up one. Doesn't make a lot of difference, but yeah, I think wide left, that's probably pretty much what I'd go with. If you were going to train him for centre forward, let's just see what the auto allocation does. So as a centre forward, not bad. I think really the issue here is it would be nice to get the finishing to 90, but to do that, I think the most obvious points you would sacrifice would be off dexterity, because he's got really high attacking awareness. You could take a couple of off acceleration as well and still be at 90, but then you're going below 80 for balance. That's a bit of a shame. That's the one attribute really with this Son card where he's a little bit on the low side. I'd like him to be a bit higher. But if you did want the finishing to be higher, I think that's what you'd do. 2 off of dexterity, 2 straight into finishing. I think that's probably worth doing. There's not a lot of points to take away from Elsa. It is only 4 on dribbling and likewise low body aerial. In fact, you could take 4 off aerial. Maybe that would help. But does it give us enough to go back in dexterity? No. Maybe we can nick a couple off dribbling actually. Yeah, I would do that. We're back to 80 for balance, 97 attacking awareness, 92 acceleration, 86 speed, 86 kicking power is decent, tidy enough on the ball for centre forward, just about okay for passing, and then 90 for finishing. Got great curl. His long range curler, whether you're playing wide left or through the centre, whatever way you train him, his long range curls are going to be really nice. He's definitely going to be capable of finishing chances for you. So yeah, by no means the best version of Son that we've had. I've got a version that's better than this one. There have been better ones than that as well. So it's not the best version of Son that we've had. A lot of us will probably have a better version of him. But if you don't already have a good version of Son, whether you end up using him as a wide left with that roaming flank playing style, which is a nice playing style, I personally like it. He'll be drifty inside, taking up interesting positions. Or whether you train him as a centre forward, both ways you can make him a really, really nice card. And again, certainly far from being the best version of Son that we've had. But for a freebie, it's a pretty good card, this one. So that's the Pirès pack and the 3 free players that they've given us today, all reviewed. I think the Pirès pack, like I say, is really good value. I think for most people in the player base, that would be a really, really good purchase to make. And these 3 cards that we're getting for free, I think it's the same case as all 3 of them. It's just a question of whether you've already got a good version of them. I think for a lot of us, we'll already have a good version of at least one of these cards, in which case you might not need this version. But for anyone who doesn't have a good version of any of these cards, whether it's De Bruyne, Ronaldo or Son, they could be a really, really fantastic card to pick up for free. So really nice freebies there. And just to finish up, we've got a week left on the current nominating contract packs and match pass, so I'll put a link up on the screen around about now if you want to check out the video where I reviewed all those nominating contract players, just to help you maybe decide who to use your contracts on and whether to pick up either the match passes. But thanks for watching, and hopefully these reviews have been helpful for you and help you to decide whether to pick up the Pirès pack and what to do with these free players. I might do another video soon, but depends if they release anything it's worth reviewing, to be honest, because it's going a bit quiet at the moment. I think we're in that kind of lull before the next big update comes. It looks like, I think, 12th September, so we've got about a month and a bit before that. So yeah, hopefully there'll be some more interesting things added to the game in the meantime, in which case I will be putting some more videos out. So I'll see you then, and thank you for watching this one. As always, I'll catch you next time. Take care of yourself.